This feels familiar, right? Maybe we are too used to the comfort of our modern lives. In the last months, 44% of the Norwegians reduced the use of energy to make ends meet. But do we really need so much to live comfortably? That's why we came to Dream Valley.
My name is Vivian, I'm 24 and I'm living here on this farm for 1.5 years now. Dream Valley is a place where life is very simple, down to earth, and connecting you with nature around you, where you can meet a lot of silence and be with yourself.
Right, so here is where you do your life.
This is where life happens.
And what electricity do you use?
I mainly use the lights, and I have some electricity for the water pump, and sometimes I use some electricity for cooking.
So now that you have the stove, you use the stove for mostly cooking and...
You can also bake with this one.
Yes.
But most of the time we are that many people that we're not really getting, it's easier to use the bigger electric one.
We're gonna get some wood now. I had to make my own fire to heat up because there is no electric heating.
It's cold. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm very sure. I tried it, the wood is pretty frozen.
It was authentic.
You know,
it was a way to get involved in the process actually.
here,
Yes.
you can see that light spot. That's a bronze.
Yes.
That would be best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
If you make the wood yourself and prepare it yourself, you will learn that wood is keeping you warm several times. It's like taking down the tree, putting the tree in, like taking the tree out of the forest, cutting it in pieces, chopping it, stapling it, and then carrying it in the house, and finally firing it up. So it makes you warm several times.
Well, it's time to go to sleep, and I'm gonna wear my pajamas and as well my wool socks and a scarf because there is some very cold air coming through the walls, and it's really annoying on the deck when you're sleeping. And sometimes it's even useful to have a hat, but I don't think today it will be necessary. And now it's the stove on, so it's quite okay, quite warm, but it will decrease until 10 degrees, so it will be very cold, and it's important to be prepared to sleep good. So let's go to sleep.
Daily life up here is getting up, taking care of the animals, taking care of yourself, heating the house, going with the seasonal works that just occur around this simple life where you do a lot by hand and a lot by yourself. My deaf horse is missing. Okay, I feed them 3 times a day, but they mainly have hay all the time, so they can just eat as much as they want because it's important for them also to stay warm.
Yes.
They like heat through eating, just like you. In the morning feel better when you've eaten.
I'm not used to walk around horses, animals, farm animals in general. There's a lot of work to do when you have an animal like a horse. So you need a lot of time and a lot of dedication, and you have to be very involved and really want to do this.
Good job, really.
My hands are freezing.
Life up here is so simple, and you mainly are at this place. I mean, what I need is pants and shoes and something warm up here, but I'm wearing the same in summer and in winter in a way. Showering here doesn't happen every day. It's like once a week, you wash your hair, you wash yourself, you get clean again. So it's really also like a bit, like a conscious way of dealing with using energy. And also we do have a washing machine, and it's nice to keep life at a certain level of cleaning. So I also have a vacuum cleaner, and if you're wood firing in a house, you will have a lot of dirt.
Yes,
everywhere.
That's it.
That's just it.
Yes. It's frozen now, right?
Yeah, it's pretty hard now. And you first have to hit it off the ground. That's what I've already done, because otherwise it's frozen to the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
So where do you get the income from for surviving and keeping all this?
Life is not that expensive up here if you do a lot yourself. But I have guests in summer, and also in winter I rent out cabins. Also the heating is only working by the self-made wood. That is like a really low expense. And we also have this very nice deal with the shop, so we get the throwaway vegetables for the horses. I have a very harsh example for that, keeping expenses down. I had a horse that died in October. So what are you gonna do with a horse around here? You can either call and they will get it with a truck, which costs like 300 euros, or you ask your neighbor who has sled dogs, and it goes to the sled dogs. So that's like facing this natural cycle of, if we don't want to look at something, we need a lot of energy or money to get rid of it. But it's nothing more than natural too. But it means you have to cut your own horse open and you feed the foxes.
Oh my god.
But that's pretty much like,
nature,
it's shocking if you come out of the city. But that's like life out in the countryside. If an animal would die out in the forest, it would just be eaten, as well as that. Living up here, I really learned how to value these things you do yourself. You have to figure it out yourself, and that's, to me, that's a life quality.
So we're coming now to the river. The water is like about 4 degrees, and Vivian, she told us that she has like a weekly routine to have a bath in the very cold water. So let's see.
I think from this whole consumption of energy that I came from, like in a well-situated country like Switzerland, where we just had everything all the time and warm houses, it was quite a crash for me to come here. But now I realize that it gives me back a lot of energy. It's giving you back something that is suddenly connecting you with a power that is coming from inside of you. It's not that I don't feel that dependent anymore on what is around me, but probably also because I've learned how dependent we are on what is around us. Because if you don't heat up here, you're just gonna freeze in winter.
so cold. Yes, and my feet are like 2 blocks of ice. I cannot move them. I cut my own wood, I made my own fire, and I learned that life is simpler with less. The time with Vivienne made me realize it is important to enjoy the process.